The end of Cold War paves a new dawn to the world. It is a wake of the transition to the new era, which brought about the realization of regional economic cooperation in Asia. Countries of Northeast Asia, China, Japan, and South Korea were able to forge, for the first time, a consensus that focuses their energies on pursuing peace, prosperity, and political stability. At the same time, the post-Cold War also allowed nationalism to reassert itself, dragging the process of regional cooperation behind. To Professor Kenneth Quinones from Akita International University, History Talk is considered politics for East Asia.
South Koreans don't understand. They're an island. Their whole future requires they have to have economic, political cooperation, not just with China, but also Japan. And so it has to start in Korea. Right now, the Koreans are not thinking that way, but they need to be a little more humble. They are so proud of their economic achievement, but that economic achievement could quickly collapse if they don't continue to develop cooperation within the region.
Central to nationalism in China and the two Koreas are reservations about Imperial Japan's perceived misdeeds, which was seen as the root of territorial disputes in the Maritime Sea until today. Through different perception and conditions held by each concerned country, the scars left by Japanese invasion and colonization still runs high in East Asia, while psychological and emotional reparation from historical responsibilities remains an ongoing dialogue.
Reconciliation is very difficult because most people focus on reconciliation via legalistic means, and that's not the way forward. To achieve reconciliation, you have to build relationships, nurture them, and that means paying attention to the psycho-emotional dimension of the horrible traumas that people have experienced in the past. Nanjing, 1938, the comfort woman, slave labor, etc.
The problems being faced in East Asia is not far from the ones being discussed among ASEAN countries, with a high-level meeting between the Southeast Asian grouping and China on working to find a resolution to the South China Sea dispute is taking place in Bangkok this week before another special meeting in Beijing. Former Indonesian UN Ambassador Hashim Jalal, who has also been directly dealing with the issue over the years, say the best way to settle any regional disputes should be done through dialogue.
The position basically has not changed, but this does not prevent people from reaching agreements. For instance, before there was a disagreement between China and Vietnam in territorial boundary in the Gulf of Tonkin. But through dialogue process and so forth between the two, they find agreement. Territorial issue is not an easy and simple matter, but you have to deal with it. Otherwise, there will always be misunderstanding that we don't want to see.
As we step into the new age of globalization and connecting to the world has become effortless, the goal to historical reconciliation does not have to be achieved solely through direct political means. Civil society has become an essential part to the equation to forge the broken trust. Indirectly, through connections of people-to-people relations, forgiveness and the will to move on could be done much easier. In the end, the resolution to historical conflicts in East Asia now rests ashore on the engagements of the civil society. Being open-minded may no longer be enough, but the exchange of activities and information as well as perceptions and thoughts will be the key and essential part in achieving the peace and reconciliation within this region. Juro Wigirsin reports from Seoul, South Korea.